It's Tuesday, and it's the first day that Kat has been without her children since June 14th.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, like, yeah, the summer it's really hard, and moms do a lot, and I'm going to generalize.
Okay.
I'm going to generalize.
Generalize for me.
Because I was also just talking about how someone was saying recently, I was having a conversation with a couple, and I said to the man, I said, you should try and get a job closer to your home if you could. And then he goes, well, then I wouldn't have my drive hour and back to freaking think about my thoughts and debrief. And I was like, I hear that. And then I said to the man, I said, sorry, I'm not going to be sexist, but I have to say this thing that I heard and that I know is true, that they say that when a man comes home from work, he'll often sit in his car just to like take a minute and think before he gets out. And anywhere a mom goes, she is in such a fucking frenzy to get out of her car when she gets home, to get back into the house to be with the kids.
I sometimes take a minute, but they open the door and find me.
Yes.
They definitely see me coming.
And you're also more of a seasoned mom, but in the beginning, oh my gosh, everywhere we went,
it was
a
firestorm.
So I was thinking that's so funny. And I was like, in general, moms do a lot more of the planning for back to school and for camp and for summers and all of that. I know this isn't what you would want, but do like men ever think like, I should send you away for the weekend to a spa to just like,
it's our team partner.
Okay, just to like relax because I want to thank you. I can't imagine how stressful that has been.
No, because I've never done it. Don't you realize that when I think that I had this really big conversation. Okay, well, Max got glasses. Mm-hmm. He basically doesn't have peripheral. There's a few things he doesn't have on his face or his eyes, whatever. What he can't see. Mark is like, why wouldn't he tell us? Mm-hmm. I'm like, how do you know if you're not, how do you know that that's your normal? So you can't, it's the exact same thing. You can't, and if you have a child with a learning disability and they're like, well, they have to advocate. I'm like, but they don't know that's their normal. How do they know what's different? How do they know the expectation of what the fuck normal is when you don't know what you're supposed to be asking for help? Like I look at the teachers, I'm like, you're asking him to know what he doesn't know.
I mean, it's like everything in life. It's like,
get that?
If you think about like when they say like a girl who has been raised, this is other sides, but a child who's been raised in an abusive relationship then often goes and finds a relationship with an abuser because that's the only way of relationship that they know.
Exactly. And I think men are the same. How do they know? How would they know that we would be, other than us saying it, how would they know that we would need a break if we don't ask for one?
I mean, isn't it obvious? Doesn't it look stressful to them? Don't they look at their wives and go, wow, you had a lot on your plate. Like I'm so stressed, like
you are right now,
everything. Yeah. Just cause you
did a really good job pushing that off till Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. But
do you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
You didn't carry it with you for very long.
No, I mean, I had California and I was like, when I get back from California, I will like try and get my shit together.
Yeah.
But because I think before doing it, I just like, I need to get that out of the way. But it's been a lot because I kind of feel, I mean, when you have those moments where you're like, I just really want to do the best. I want to do the best for my kids and I want to put them in a situation where they can thrive. And
it's my life.
I want to see them do the best that they can. And I want to help. I don't want to hold their hand. I can never really do homework with people. It's just something that's not in me. I'm not capable of it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of parents helping their kids with projects and stuff like that. I've never done it. I mean, maybe
you haven't had to. And I think you when the time comes, you probably will. Like I
literally, when they try and ask me to do it, I don't know how.
No, me neither. But what there are certain things I help in the ways that I can. I don't want to. I get it wrong. I mean, I got grade 2 math wrong. Yeah. It came back.
But they get so pissed when I get it wrong and they go to the school and they're like, you told me to do this and I got it wrong.
I told the teacher, I'm like, I tried to help with math. I couldn't do it. She doesn't know what she's doing. I just give the teacher a heads up. Hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm like, write a note on their book. Be like, I tried to help them. Homework I have learned is not for more work. It's so the teacher knows if they know it or not. Mm-hmm. If they don't know it, then you send it back. They don't know this. Mm-hmm. If they can't do it, just say they didn't know it. I had to help them this much.
Yeah. I always write a note like that because they're like, I can't send it back empty.
So don't, you can. They don't know it. They need to relearn this. You got to take the pressure off yourself. If they don't know it, then that's on the teacher, not on you.
Yeah.
I've learned that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of schools, it doesn't feel like, listen, if your kid can't keep up, go get them some help.
Oh, well, that's true too.
So I want to make sure that they have help. And so anyways, on Sunday, and I'm writing down the calendar, right? I'm writing everything down.
I did have an epiphany for you when I said you have 2 extra kids to me right now. And I mean, I only have Chi-Chi left, who doesn't do anything. And you have extra sports than me. And you have like, you double up in the baseball, hockey, like you double up on everything. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. You have a lot of extra, you have you have triple the amount, even more. You have triple the amount of things that you're doing. It's too much. I was like, can you take one of them out of base? Like something. That's a lot. Like, because here's the thing. In Toronto, Ontario, the sports overlap. So baseball and hockey, and nothing stops during the year.
No, baseball goes all year.
Nothing stops. So you're like, you want to, they're like, do lots of sports. Well, you fucking can't, because they want you to do their sport all year long. And I think you're doing a lot. Like, you have a lot on your plate right now. You have a lot on your plate.
I know. And and then I want to make sure that there's time for like the school stuff, obviously, but like, just, I mean, between us, I sat down on Sunday night and I wrote out the calendar, because to have a visual is something really important when you have 4 kids and everything. And it didn't, like, my parents were over, and like, they were all like, you're just like having a glass of wine and stuff. And I'm like, I can't, I need to focus.
Yeah. And
I was stressed. And Mark's like, it's just the first day of school. And I'm like, it's just the first day of school. It's a really big deal for the kids,
Yes.
And so I booked him a tutor for today, and Mark just said he has a hockey practice. I'm like, could you have mentioned that when I was putting the calendar together? You know what I mean? Like, that would have been helpful if you just kind of
told you,
took a look-see and let me know. Anyways, it's fine, but
you
it's
just have a lot of moving parts. You have more moving parts than anybody I know. You had a lot of moving parts.
But then I don't feel, it's like, I feel like, the hard part is, like in marriage, is that I feel like instead of a natural reaction of being like, you're doing a great job from the partner, it's almost like, well, where's the space for me?
And it's okay. You know what you need to say. Because I've told you this summer, I have had 0 time for Mark, like 0, zilch, none. But in my opinion, as a partner, you have to look this is where it's maturity, and you have to look and see. I don't know if all men see that you're, as a mom, this is where the fire thing, who you're saving, and you're, as a mom, you can only be as good as a partner as your happiest child. Yeah. And your healthiest child. Yeah. You cannot, for me, maybe other people, but if like, last night, I'm crazy at nighttime. I'm a lunatic at nighttime. I'm a lunatic. Like, if something is on my brain, I will research it until 1 a.m. I will go on my phone, and I will go and I will go and I will go. Now, he appreciated what I did to get where I got for my children this summer, because it wasn't just for like trees in the backyard. That was, last summer, literally. But Max's inflammation is a little bit back. So I am, because he's supposed to be taking vitamins. I haven't done the special thing. I haven't done everything I had to do for that yet. Last night I'm like dialed in. So I didn't even talk to him. And I know I was on my phone till probably I turned off the light. But I was doing it for our child, not for the trees in the backyard. So I think they have to kind of realize that.
I guess sometimes you have to speak up and say.
I just say to him, I'm like, I'm really thankful that you understand. I think that it's not manipulative. It's when you tell them how they should feel, even if they're not showing it 100%, it directs them in the direction they should go. Yeah. They should go in.
And I'm gonna have to put it like that, because otherwise he's like, I'm here to help. Let me know what I can do. But sometimes asking for some help, it's just easier to just do it yourself. And I know that we've learned so much.
You can help me by supporting me in this really tough journey right now that's on my brain. And it's stressful for me. It might not be for you, but this is a stressing point for me. And that's it. And like, that's how you can support me. Just tell him without asking. I don't need you to physically do something. That's what I need you to do. Man, that's like, I even said to someone last night, fucking homework struggle. I get it. I really do get it. I know it's a really big struggle for a lot of people.
I just pray it never hits my house.
And that there's a fight about this and that and this and that. And I said to the person, I said, if they want to learn to read and they know they have to do X, Y, and Z, then let them know this is your goal. How can I help you with this goal? If I can step away, I'm like, go big picture. This is for all of you moms out there or dads or whoever the fuck is listening. If your kid, ask them what you want your year to look like. And if they're like, I want to get good, then be like, okay, so how can I help you get there? Rather than being like, well, if it's your goal, they're gonna be like, fuck you. So I just said to my person that I was talking to, ask them, what do you want? Then help them lay out a plan. So it's their idea. Make it their idea, not your idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like manipulation in a way, but it's not.
No,
it's kind of like, this is you.
I mean, it's just, it's teaching planning and goal setting.
Yeah. And take the pressure off yourselves. Like you can't discipline your child into doing work.
No.
You can't.
No.
Because they'll grow up and they'll be like.
No. And I've never been a person to do that. They're never going to get that from me. You know what I mean? You're never going to get like.
Yeah, if you want to fail, then go fail. Like that's how I feel. If you want to fail, fail. Like, but I'm not paying for school. Like if you're going to fail, then you're going to go to public school and you're going to get a job. Like, I don't know. I guess because I did fail and I had to work and it was shit. You know what? Yeah. Dropping out at 16 was shit. It sucked. Yeah, it sucks. If you're a teenager listening, or if you have a kid who's thinking of it, it is terrible. Well, here's why. Most people don't want to do it because they don't want to show up for the responsibility of having to go to school. So you don't want to go because it feels too hard. Either school's too hard, the social situation's too hard. It's easier to not. Then winter comes. So you usually drop out in spring or summer. Okay. Like you drop out in the warm seasons. Okay. Then winter comes and day in and day out, everyone has something to do and you have nothing. And remember, we didn't have phones. So like I was out of the social situation. You're out of the group. People all have conversations to talk about. You have nothing to talk about.
Were you just going to work all day?
I did nothing. Well, at first I was like, I bounced around looking for courses. That was not happening for me. And then, I got jobs. I got retail jobs and I became a grown up at 16. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs. That's shitty. Yeah. That's when you're just getting going. I had done all that I had done from 12 to 16. I'd had my freedom. I have been working. I've never not worked since I was 16. Not actually 14. I have never not had a job. And then when everyone else went to university and partied, my parents were like, sorry, there's no money. You're going to have to do this yourself.
I mean, same.
So I would wake up at 5 a.m., do my homework, go to school all day, go to my waitressing job at 4 o'clock, work till midnight, wake up at 5 a.m. and do it again. Yeah. That was my fucking life.
Yeah. I mean,
it's saying
it's a lot of people's life.
No, but at 60, you have an option in high school to have fun.
Yeah.
You have an option at 16. I was too old to not have a full-time job when I was in university and college. Like there was no help. There was no residence. There was no like Frosh week. There was no like I was there to graduate and get my work.
Same.
So if you're thinking of dropping out, it's easier short term, so much harder long term.
And I have like absolutely no regrets of the way I did things. And there was really no I mean, of course there was an option, but that was my decisions that got me where I went to not go to university. But there's not a lot of things that I think that there's two things that I can think off the top of my head that I feel like I have missed out on. One, I think I would have been great at university. I think I have no idea about the school part, but I think I would have had so much fun in residence. Like I've never lived with anybody.
No,
never lived with girls.
I go visit them when I was 14. I went to university when I was 14. Yeah. It's fucked.
And it was so fun and I didn't do it. And
memories forever.
I don't think I'm like worse off for it, but it's something if I could turn back time, I wish I would have gone to university.
Yeah, not for school, for fun.
For fun, also for like learning to live with other people, meeting like a whole bunch of people that come from like different like areas and all living together, and then doing things
It's like a rite of passage.
Is a rite of passage. And I know everyone who goes to community college doesn't have that. And at my community colleges that I went to, like I was never socially involved.
Some of them are. I know someone who went to Fanshawe and it was like the most
No,
fun.
I was never socially involved
me
in
neither.
my Toronto ones because it was in my city too. So like, I just went to work after school.
Totally.
And then the other thing I think I missed out on, and everyone's like, it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, that's because you did it. Party in Vegas. Everyone's done it. They're like, unless I said to my stepbrother's done it a millions of times when he was going.
I mean, we did do a show.
Yeah,
we did go out.
I didn't experience. That's like saying that I visited my friends at university. It's not.
Oh, like you want to do it when you're young?
No, I just want to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I want to see what it's like. Like Vegas is such a
nostalgic place.
It's like everyone's done it.
I mean, we can have a bachelor party there.
Yeah, no, I know.
We can go just make one.
Yeah. But it would have been fun to be when like you were young and you didn't get hungover and you didn't have consequences. You didn't think about it. You're just like, bleh, you get on the
I
plane
surprised Mark
home.
for his 30th birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
With all of his friends. Mm-hmm. And we walked downstairs.
Someone should have done that for me when I was 25.
Yeah, I don't have, it was just harder.
I love it. I've partied so much in my life and the two regrets are not partying enough in those two areas.
I get it. Yeah, no, I don't regret it. I just, if someone was listening, I would be like, if you can just be like free for a little bit longer, take it. Like if you can experience, like, I think that's probably why my kids are in private school right now, because my school was such shit.
You just want to kind of ensure, it's sort of like an insurance policy that the school is working with your kid to get them there. I also kind of feel like as a parent, I know a lot of private school parents are really involved and they still have all these tutors and they really care about their kids' academics and but for me, it's sort of like an insurance that someone else is looking out because I'm not good at it and I know I'm not good at it.
Yeah. And I think that it's a community. And I think that, if you fit into that community, if you don't, it's shit. If you do fit into it and it's something, my kids go not to the local one. I drive them to a farther place, but it was the right fit for them. Well, one could go anywhere. She'd be fine. But I think that school was just so hard for me. If I totally can make it a tiny bit easier or they can swim downstream rather than upstream. Yeah. I'm here for that for you.
I think that's why we're both attracted to it because
even though we stand for everything it doesn't we stand against it for everything it is.
It really is.
It's like in our core fiber. We're like,
there's a part of it that is
sadistic.
No, we're literally putting them there. Like for me, I feel like it's because I know I'm academically not strong enough or
is it her trauma?
Or I actually think it kind of is or
trauma.
Responsible enough to keep them on track for school. So we're putting them somewhere and asking for help.
Our kids we're parenting them through our trauma.
And they're really benefiting from that.
Whoa.
Because we happen to get into a situation where we're able to, I don't know, guys, I might just be bankrupt tomorrow, but until then, my father-in-law always said, these are going to be the 15 most expensive years of your life. And I just keep thinking like every year we get closer and closer that eventually it's going to ease up. But
no, nothing's easing up. Everything's they will get Starbucks and forget.
No, I mean like 15 years from now when no one's home.
Oh, we'll have so much money.
No, but the universe, like they could get, they get financial assistance for some of the money. Okay. And like, it's not going to be all on us. Scholarships. It's not going to be all on us, and we're not going to be paying for their sports then.
Okay, good.
Right.
They maybe maybe therapy though.
Oh yeah. Therapy. Well, they can pay for that themselves. And, and they can maybe buy their own car and drive them own selves and like really be responsible. But like, when I think about that, Taylor has 3 years till she potentially moves out of the house, potentially forever. Like, there's a lot of like lessons.
Where are you living? Where are you living that she's moving out in 3 years? And
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying some people like my brother moved out and never came home. Some kids move out and never come home.
Here's the thing, Natalie. Life is long. Mm-hmm. And yes, I never graduated high school. I still don't have that.
I thought you were a mature. Oh, you got in as a mature. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't know what they never ask for that on they only ask university and college. I'm like, that was smart. I don't know if you can still apply as mature students now. Like, I don't know if you.
Oh, for sure. You can.
Yeah, I think you have to be old. You have to be older. The older though. Like, I don't think you can be 19. Like, I think you have to be out of school for like 3. Like,
can't you just apply to college?
No, unless it's no. I only know that because someone we know is going through it right now. They have to be out for a certain amount of time.
Oh yeah, because I got into college without graduating high school, but proving that I was going to graduate high school in my first year in college. And I don't even know if that was legal, but I feel like I tricked them in a way and somehow they let me in. And then I graduated at the end of my first year of college. I graduated high school.
In the one big one here, you have to be out for a certain amount of time.
That's kind of dumb. What if you're mature enough to start actually learning a skill?
Well, most have courses. You have to prove that you can do it. Like if you couldn't finish, if you just are like, I'm done with high school, I'm going to go there now. I think they want people to be successful.
And I feel like in the States, you could like get your GED early.
I don't know anything.
I think that's their high school, and then they can just go to college. I definitely went to college without high school. But I feel like I also tricked them.
Well, if I had hopes and dreams, if I have hopes and dreams for my children, I have more than one, children, it would be
that they could have our job because it's so fun.
That they have the confidence enough to be okay with wherever they may land and whoever they may be and how whatever that path looks like, and that they can support themselves, like that they can get a job.
And, you know, however it worked out, our parents obviously did that to us because we didn't go where everybody went and we were okay. And I think I was okay
I did 2 degrees. I did 2.
But I mean, like right after high school, you know, we didn't go where they went.
I just worked.
I felt okay.
We should ask them how they felt.
I think my mom was very like, my mom always says, no matter what, I just always kind of knew you'd figure it out.
Yeah, I think that's a difference. That's a difference.
The first time I like got a full-time, like I always worked, you know, even when I was young. But when I got my first like full-time job, I remember I finished my my first few months and it was really laborious and really bad hours. And it was kind of a shit job, but it was like going to be my forever job. And it was like 2 months in and my mom was like, I'm really proud of you for like doing this, you know, because like your friends are, you know, still
having fun.
Yeah, they're still having fun and you're, you know, you've started this job and I was like, and I remember her being proud of me and then I quit.
She's like, damn it, Natalie.
She never seemed upset about it. I guess she's just like, you'll go get another job.
Yeah, she had expectations. It wasn't like you could live there and not do anything. Giselle would not let. The grandma would be like, get your...
Well, I was never given money. Like, you know, when kids got allowances?
Yeah. My kids don't get that, by the way.
No, neither do I, but they can still
money.
Buy things.
They have my card on their phone, Apple Wallet.
Yeah. I just, yeah, like people would be like, can't your mom just give you $20 so you can like come out? And I'm like, there's literally like, if I don't make the money and people are like, oh, you have to babysit every Friday and Saturday night. I'm like, because I can't go out next week if I don't make the money.
Yeah.
There's literally no money coming in ever.
Me too.
It's kind of great. Like, I mean, in the end, it kind of makes you like, you can rely on nobody for money. So
exactly.
Make your own.
I do want to clarify something. If your child is in transition of dropping out, it is fine. Like they're probably stronger in the, it feels really overwhelming. Cause I know my mom was decimated by it. Like, I don't think my parents were like happy about it, but they knew they could do nothing about it. Like, and I think that if you have that child who's dropping out, there's probably nothing you can do about it other than put a consequence in. But I started to work. I think that if your child they're probably so headstrong, there's not much you can do about it. So you can either put in your own boundary and what you expect, but to like, life, like it's long. There's long, like 16 is still so young. 18 is still so young. 21 is still so young. That just don't underestimate that the path is not always straight and that it's zigzag. And I think that we can get so mad at not being traditional. Like I know parents can get so pissed at like, you know, them just not doing. And the only reason, you know, I would be upset for my children if they were to take the same path is it's just harder and less fun.
And less fun. Yeah, it's a lot more pressure.
Like it's so much less. And like, you really can't go very far unless you start your own thing because then someone tells you what you're worth rather like, cause if you have to work for someone else, they tell you a worth based on a piece of paper unless you can really
prove yourself to learn
and
something
work your way
own.
up. But they can always hold that against you and be like, well, you don't have the grade system of this and this. So this is where you cap out.
And also if your kid is like really struggling or they want to drop out or they want to do something different, ask them again, like what would be good for you? So for me, I couldn't go to day school in high school. And for me, my brain could handle one course at a time. So every single night I went to night school and then I took summer school. So I would take one class at a time and that's what my brain could handle. And I ended up graduating a year late, but that's how I figured, and I did it with nobody, but on my own, I was like, if I take one at a time, I can do it. I was literally just thinking about my kids. I'm like, I wish I could just like enroll you in like 2 in first semester, 2 in second semester, and then 2 in the summer, you know, because it's just,
you can.
I know I can, but you know, for the brain, when kids are taking 8 classes at the same time, and I know that's normal if you're not semestered, 8 different topics you're learning at the same time.
I know.
Is so overwhelming.
I know.
I can't believe it. Like for me, definitely the brain works better in semestered, 4 classes at a time. But yeah, if I guess we ever get to a point with any of my kids, I'll be like, you know, there is an alternative way of doing this. And that's how it worked for me.
And summer's long. Like a lot of my daughter's friends did summer school
and you do it in a shorter period of time.
A week. And they go to reach ahead, or like, no, maybe like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next year.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think I'm gonna do that next year. I'm like,
it's so worth it to get a credit in the summer.
I did. I was like, what's wrong with you? But I'm gonna go for it.
I remember I like pre-drinking on Monday nights because I had tests on Tuesdays and I would pre-drink, and my friend, she really wanted me to come out. So not only did I like not have money, she's like, I'll pay for you and I'll also tutor you while we're drinking.
Amazing.
And I swear to God, it's sunk in while I was drinking. And I never got a better mark. I had like the best mark in the class.
There you go. Drink and pre-quaff and tutor. You could start a company. Get wasted with me and I'll tutor you.
Let's make little baby alcoholics get straight A's.
I can launch you right into the party world.
The other kind of fun thing about summer school and night school,
lots of boys,
but also a lot of, this is the ones that I went to, and they were in public schools. There's not a lot of great students. So you actually end up feeling a little bit better about yourself when you actually study, because a lot of them
unless you go to my daughter's school.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for like public schools. I mean, I went downtown for schools. A lot of them are like kind of such like fuck ups that they don't even know how to study. So then my marks would always be like pretty good, you know,
because they're grading it against the cohort, not just.
It's like Mark always says, you love the running club because everyone's such a shitty runner that you feel so good about yourself. Sorry, I like being.
You're a good runner, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
You're a good runner, better than most.
I know. But it's kind of fun sometimes being like at school, like being the best out of nowhere.
You know what else is really scary? Last thing to think about is our babies are only in grade 3 and 4. There's so much time for them to go sideways. I just think of that.
I don't even think about them right now. I think about those ones in the middle.
I mean, there's only one that's a problem. Potential, not even yet.
Some could surprise you, right? I'm not worried about your oldest.
Yeah, as long
I
as
think she's our safest bet.
Yeah, and she's got such high standards for guys, like such high standards, and they have to be super tall. So she's really not. She's got to wait till grade 11 right now,
and she might change her mind. You know, someone was saying,
I mean, her standards are.
I know, but sometimes people say like their standards are so high, and then you see the people that they date, and it's like it's kind of unexpected.
I mean,
but
she's
only
only hitting grade 9, and most haven't
learn.
even changed their voices yet.
Yeah, and
she
learn
sees
what's important
she's
later.
the people that her friends hook up with. She's just like, not friends, people that she knows. She's like, I mean, I see them, and I feel how she feels because I look and I'm like, wow, you. Finger people, that's great. Like your mom still probably tells you how you have to shower.
Yeah,
like I see them because they walk the neighborhood, and I'm just like this. Wow.
So you watched? You're not invited to my bar mitzvah, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known this, but apparently the guy in it, the main guy, is so fine for girls that age. He's fine.
I don't remember him. I'm gonna have to look at it.
It says just looks like a regular, like not particularly like not the kind of handsome like that guy in
The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
The really tall one.
Mm-hmm.
Not like that kind of good looking, but he looks like a lot of boys that would like go to our kids' schools, so they think he's fine.
Yeah. Olivia likes the American boys. She wants to go to America this summer.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to go to American school. I'm like, you are such a little prepster. Well, guys, you know, if you're struggling, back to school, I think brings up a lot of unknowings because we are all looking at a year, and it's like another year closer to becoming who they are as people, and you're really not sure who they're going to be when they grow up or what the year is going to look like.
And also, if days are really hard and things seem really crazy, just know that you're not alone. You're not weird. we've been parents now for 15 years and it's still like every day is a new day.
Is there a day that like they come, like when you're like, oh, what, like, you know, I'm at a grade 11 yet, going into grade 11.
Mm-hmm.
She just seems so like,
comfortable in her life?
yeah, just sort of like solid. And I'm like, when do people become,
I think it's different for everyone.
I just looked at her and she was so comfortable and like, hey, like
Mm-hmm.
chatting and like, no ego, no.
That could just be her too.
I know. I was like, wow. I was like, that is pretty cool that you.
But then also when you just think, like, side note, when someone just said this past weekend, the way, and people always say the way how your son can just like chat with adults and stuff, but there's always other things, you know? So some of the things that seem really great, everyone's got their own suitcase.
Just depends how big yours is. Is it carry-on or check-in? Or is it a trunk? How long you going for? All right, guys, make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. You know what? You can even say go fuck yourself. I don't care what you say.
And also, don't forget, guys, there is the option. There is the option to subscribe to our ad-free and bonus episode that is live now. So if you just go to our podcast, it'll say like subscribe to ad-free, and then we have some bonus episodes that we are recording, and basically you can listen to so many more of our podcasts because all of them are shorter, so you can binge and have time for more things. Bye, guys.